to another drawing tutorial session with Reduce using the Paintology drawing app, and this app is available from the Google Play Store. So as you can see, I have on the home screen here of the app once you install it, and this has a few buttons, tutorials, which you should go to first and check out all the nice tutorials. There's plenty of them to keep you busy, and if you go, you'll see some of them have video icons next to it. This just simply means that you can toggle between video and watch the video and toggle this button and watch how the drawing is made. It is an excellent way for you to learn, and that's the whole idea of the Paintology app. It's designed to teach you art skills, not necessarily the use of tools, because if you use tools, you essentially become dependent on the tools. But if you know how to utilize the tools effectively, you become a master of the tools, and that's art techniques. And it's the very reason why a lot of your favorite YouTubers, artists, are able to take a few simple tools and make a masterful painting or drawing, and you're probably scratching your head all the way through how they do that, but nevertheless you marvel at their creations. So this is what drawing and painting is all about, and it can also be done on digital, and Paintology shows you how. So I've got a lot of the daily tutorials I do, and I'm going to show you a few quick resources here. So you'll know, if you go to the homepage of paintology.com, you'll see a button, daily step-by-step video tutorials. Click on this, and then you'll come across a YouTube live streams page, classes, and then you can see there I have two main streams and two channels, Paintology stream and Produce channel, and the drawing is usually divided half and half between the two. So the one currently I'm doing is this one, 19th November. So I always keep this list updated with the latest and all the ones that I've done. And you can see here that I have the latest 19th September and part 1, 8 GMT, part 2, 9 GMT. So this is the one we're doing, Produce, and the reference image happens to be this one. Download image. I'm going to get this image for drawing. It's a reference image we use. And this is very famous painting by the figurative painter, French artist, Edgar Degas, and he was renowned for his wonderful painting of dances, ballets, and this is just one of his well-known paintings called The Star. So we're going to do that, and then we did a few before, Mona Lisa, the famous Cafe Terrace by Van Gogh, and which ones did we do? Also Gustav Klimt, The Kiss. So you can check out all of them. So this is the entire list with completed drawings you can see here in each of the sessions. These were all done on the phone. You may think, well, that's just not possible. I want to actually also demystify or demyth the fact that you may think that I'm taking an image and just simply manipulating it. It's not. It's just not the case. If you think I'm taking a reference image and manipulating it, you may think that because the image is so good, probably then my drawing is far beyond what you might think you can do. But that's not the case. I am actually taking the reference image like a trace and transferring it by my drawing techniques to my drawing canvas. So that's what it is. I want to debunk that misunderstanding that I'm simply manipulating or photo editing the reference image like one person had somehow posted on the comment section. But it wasn't implied to make it to be critical. It was implied saying, wow, such amazing photo editing software, you know. I'm thinking, thank you, but no thank you. But anyway, so this is what I want to tell you right now. Anyone can do this drawing. It's the method of block coloring. It's like paint by numbers. You know, if you think about painting by numbers as having regions, that's how you do it. But I'll go into it more in the drawing. So the other resources you want to is this is a drawing painting that I downloaded. The other one I want you to is the paintology.quora.com. Please subscribe to this, and this one has my channel here. My channel. You'll find it for this kind. Like I have answered like 1,400 related questions, and then made 800 posts so far. So this is the current entry I've made. So I keep it active, and this is the actual glimpse. This is this is the painting I did on the phone of the kiss. You can see plenty of examples. This was the painting I did of the cafe terrace, and you'd think that this was not done digitally, just not possible, but it is. This one was Mona Lisa. I enjoyed that. I overstepped that by an hour, trying to do justice to the famous Leonardo da Vinci. Again, another one using traditional skills, nothing more than that. So this is an artist. If you think I'm just copying and just not doing anything, well, check out my other videos where copying copying and tracing in this method has allowed me to multiply my skills more than most people, even good artists. And that's the reason I can do so well on digital. I can simply take a phone. I don't have to use the trace method. I can freehand and make a perfectly photorealistic drawing on the phone. And if you care to see that, I will show you. And these were all done by freehand. This one, for example, there. This is of the water droplets on the, and this one was taken half an hour to do. Okay. There's another one I did. You might know this one. Marcello. He does it on with traditional, and I did it on my phone. Actually, on my tablet. This one. There's another one I did. A very interesting one. I like this one. So I show the steps towards how it's done. Again, most of these are not done using the trace freehand. So I've got the skills that I acquired in learning using the block coloring and the trace method drawing and applied it to freehand drawings. So you could not tell for a minute this was done in digitally because I'm using art techniques. This is one of my favorites. While I was awaiting a hospital procedure here and the passing my time. It's another one, you see. It's a dog done on the Galaxy tablet, freehand. So, you know, before you rush to judgment, please take a look at my videos. And I'm not showing off my ego or trying to raise my ego. I'm here to show you how to draw on the phone, just like traditional. If you have traditional skills, how to draw on the phone. The reason why everyone rushes to tools because they don't have any basic skills in art. That's why they rely on the tools to take them far. But if you understand your tools, just like in traditional, you can take your skills to a whole new level. Why is this not coming out nicely? Yeah, this was earlier ones that I did. So not the photorealistic here. Oh, actually, that's the picture. Wait a minute, I'll show you this one. Photorealistic. Photorealistic on the tablet. One on the, even on the Fire. I did this, the Fire tablets by Amazon. Did that. So plenty of examples for you to keep you busy. This one's photorealistic. You can see it's photorealistic because if you get close, you'll see. Now, that's the zoom function is what makes the phone appear to be like an A3 size paper. Anyway, so that's the resources. So you're happy to look through all the videos that I've done, which shows you a lot of methods of drawing, quite a few methods, not a lot, but a few methods that will help you to overcome your dependency on tools and make good drawings like this. So let's go back to there's plenty of tutorials now. The drawings I showed you were typically done like this. Like for example, let's take this dog intermediate. This dog, for example. Let me show you this one. See that? That's done an outline for you already, and all you need to do is do the video that's describing here how it does there, very much like a pencil drawing. So this is using freehand approach. So if you listen to all the people who are simply beginners in artists and listen to their advice, you'll be forever in the same position. But if you take the advice of people who've done it, been around the block a few times, you're going to learn something, right? So let's go ahead and open that drawing in trace mode, that one. And you can see here, this is the trace mode. So what is this approach to drawing block color? Well, let's think about it, right? Let me show you. Let's look at a face here, right? It's a pretty face. And let me show you what I mean. Let's take a very small brush, line brush, and then let's simply draw this here. And then see this, what happens is when you draw like this, and I'm not using any correction tools. Most beginners will rush to a correction tool, and therefore they have forever become dependent on the tools. Yeah, we didn't do that when we were. Let's look at that. Now you know that this could be numbered, giving you the ability to pick a color. So you can see there's a red there, and a yellow, black, and the flesh tones of the ballet dancer, right? So what we could do is we go to the color picker. This could be numbered, so you would pick a number and then just color it in, right? But instead, the block coloring is a paint by numbers supercharged. So we take the black, change the brush size. Oops. change the brush size, rotate it. Right. And then we can pick a color tone here. And I'm just showing you this quick. And then we can get a smaller brush size for the lips. And then we can put down the lips there. And then you can see that the roses, I pick the color again. And then pick, yeah, notice what I do. I just use a color picker and this is what we get. This is it. Freehand paint by numbers drawing. But we don't use these regions. What we do is now we have control of our brush size of a higher gradient, infinite type, gives us so much control, right? And then we can create the whole drawing and painting. So this is not an image manipulation painting or drawing. How is it an image manipulation? Image manipulation is when you take this image, the famous ballerina, somehow use all kinds of tools here without drawing to render this into a painterly type. And there are apps like that, but they don't teach you a drawing or painting. Paintology is all about painting and drawing. The skill that everyone throughout the world loves to do, the very skill that you think you are incompetent or not capable of doing, but now you can do it. So when I'm looking at this image, I'm thinking, how am I going to approach this drawing? I want to take out these distractions of that. I don't know why he included that. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to stretch this all the way across here. So what I'm going to do is set the reference while the actual background. I'm going to go here, right? It's got a grey, and I'm going to follow that color all the way through there. Take out these colors and just show her. You know, in my opinion, she's the most important subject in this drawing, right? So we could just simply go and define this just as a guide, right? Just like we did for paint by numbers. Don't have to be accurate, just a really essentially a guide. Okay, and then what we can do is we can start doing the background. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pick a brush size here, and then we can go pick all these different colors, right, and then just fill it in. So this is like a small area, but picking different tones. And why am I picking these different tones? Take a close look at painting, at this painting. Look at that, it's wonderful gradient in colors, right? Tones. So, for example, this tone here, right? And then I'm going to pick the color picker, pick this tone here. You think they're all the same, but they're not. This is tones and values. The very thing, that teaches you, expands your skills on painting and drawing, irrespective of the art medium, okay? So I'm picking tones each time, and you're thinking that this is the same color. What are you doing? Well, I'm going to show you the color palette once I pick the tones, and you'll be wondering, how come there's so hundreds of different tones? You know what tones are? They're the contrasting color of the thing. There's a good reason for putting this. Let's look at that. Look at the tones on that. We're here, the color is here, but there's tones going all the way and then tones across that are variable. This is what happens with the color tones of the world. Real world is all about tones, multitude of tones, and there's hundreds, if not thousands of tones on this particular, and that's what the artist has to do. Essentially, a painter has to mix these tones to match, but we have our color picker to do that. Look at that, beautiful, different tones. And you think, I would just do that in brown and thing there. Really? If you did that like that, you'd look like cartoon image. And that's the reason why I can make 3D type, impressive paintings, because I have that ability to pick out these tones. And when I do that, as I pick these tones, I'm getting a real acute sense of what tones I should use in my freehand drawing, okay? So now I'm just using that 6.5% brush size to get first of all, the various tones. I'm not worried about getting it exactly. I can see tones that are happening all over here. Well, I did the same thing with the Kiss, Gustav Klimt. Look there. See this? Can you see it? Clearly there are defining tones there. There's a light tone, then we'll pick another one. Here, tone there. And there's even all these textures of the hairline. Just dark textures like the wood. I believe that's what he was trying to capture. So when we do this kind of painting, we're trying to get into the mind of the artist. Look at the tones. Look at the tones that we picked up. There's probably more, which we filled up the color palette with the different tones. Look at that, so light here. And then as it goes light, it gets dark, so we pick another tone. Right? You can go like this. No drawing experience required, because what is it doing? It's getting you to understand the various tones in this. So you can see here, different tones. Look at darker tone here, and then another tone there. Okay, you probably have not seen this type of method of painting and drawing in the digital world, and there's a good reason for that, because not many people would not use this manual approach to painting and drawing, and therefore they will always remain, their drawing will always remain a little bit crude and always appear digital, because they're using far too many digital tools. First of all, once you use the autocorrection, the autocorrection brush tool, you're automatically making your digital art look digitized. So the dark area, I left it deliberately because of the dark tones. And it's probably a very smooth floor where the dancers have to dance. So that tones here, just go around. And you can understand that. What am I going to do what shall I do when I get just to show you that I'm picking out tones, I'm going to do her feet. You'd think I haven't done her feet, but look, I have. I pick the tones, and then I'm going to pick this tone. So I pick that tone. Look how different it is from the ballet shoes, the flesh tone. And then there. See that? There. And here. Just to show you, this is super fun, I'm telling you. Why don't you take some time out and just do this? So much fun, instead of pressing buttons and always talking about, you know, all kinds of stuff in social media, getting riled up, I should say, and then take some time out here. It's wonderful. It's like your mind wanders off into far-fetched. Your mind has some peace in doing this because it's not thinking, it's not trying to associate with any other thing that's going on around the world. It's just lifting yourself into a different world that's entirely of your own. Yeah. So anyone can do this. Don't tell me you can't do this. Look at the light tone here, right? It's so easy. Color picker, and then just follow bit by bit. This is the beauty of digitals. I can tell you, I'm not asking you to guess the tone. I'm asking you to guess the size of the brush. 6.5%, 100% line brush. There's more brushes you can play with, but I'm using the line brush. Okay. So there's no guesswork in digital, and that's the beauty of why I'm doing this, is I can show you these techniques, convey these techniques to you, and then you can practice. There's nothing rocket science difficult about it. It's very easy. My 9-year-old daughter does it with such ease. It's pretty good, actually. It teaches me a few things. You see how that tone changed? See how that tone changed, and we captured it. Just still on the background. Just paint to your heart's content. Look, it's probably, so what he's done, let's have a look at our painting. What he's done is that he's brought some of the lighter tones all the way, we see his brushwork, all the way from the dark, giving this ballerina full attention. Yeah, that's what makes the painting very pleasing to the eye. I found as I was trying to pick out his, because I know of his paintings, and I was trying to pick out one of his paintings that I really liked, but I couldn't find it. So this was the next best thing. He actually paints a room full of ballerina dancers, so people at the same canvas, but this one was just with this ballerina here. Right there. the colors. Remember, we said we were going to follow the stretch of colors. That's exactly what we're going to do. I'm not focusing on the ballerina just yet. Let's save it. Always get the habit of saving your work, okay? We can obviously make that face a lot more prettier than what we've done, isn't it? And then in time I'll show you. Look at that. See, I'm going to carry the paint, the color that I picked over those. Remember I said I'm not going to keep those. It's entirely our painting. We can do whatever we want. Color picker. Right, so we're going to carry that color and not pick the. If you pick the color, you're going to be drawing the legs and the hidden ballerinas behind the curtain. Right, so I'm going to carry that color all the way, and then carry this color all the way. Okay, that's how I do it. Change it up a little bit. So I'm not doing this, so I'm going to carry this color, carry the adjacent color, not the ballerina, we're just doing the background, okay? That's it. So essentially we pick the tones that are more in tune with this painting. You see, as I've said, I'm going to just keep this figure, the most important figure in the scene. And now what color are we going to choose for that? I feel like I should do that double tone background of this. Right, so I'm going to carry this into the, oops, I'm not going to mask out your hand, obviously. Otherwise it'll look weird. I just went over that, getting carried away really. So see, I'm going to stop here now, and then I'm going to show you how you don't have to have the same tones. Just pick the color picker, pick any of these colors. Pick a color picker, pick any of these colors that you picked from the, pick another color there. Just keep going so it doesn't appear to be just one uniform color. There. Let's see what we've got here. That's pretty decent, isn't it? And then we can go to our canvas and just touch it up. Wonderful, isn't it? And then, since we've got plenty of time, we're going to just do her, do the wonderful clothes here, using the same brush. Get some of these wonderful colors. So you can tell this is an extremely high tonal there. So we're picking the exact tones that are on this by using this color picker, okay? So I'm trying to go around to cover the tones that are at the edge of this dress here, and then not venturing too far into the very light tones. He's obviously tried hard to get these lovely toned lacy colors of this wonderful ballet dancer. Right, and he's done so with his brush strokes. Here, here. You see, I'm just picking out the tones. There's a bunch of flowery tones here, and here. Because I know I'm going like this. And the reason why I'm going like this, I'll show you, is because they're like white tones. So if you want to really, you really need to focus on these tones. Look at these pink, lacy, lovely sort of transparent color flowing through to her, I don't know what that is, but you know, to her main costume. And then there's his flowers he's probably added up to himself. So you can see this is a tonal area that I can cover. It's very similar. So pick just the tones that are very similar. And then use the color picker again to pick the other tones, yeah? Just pick the tones that you see through the trace. Remember, you have to be at the top half in order to select the color picker from the reference image. Okay. So, in fact, you know, I've got another idea to do this part of this part, and I'm not going to do that just yet. But I'm going to fill in. I'm going to do something interesting. We've got like quite a bit of time, and I'm going to do this. And actually, I decided against it. This is what we've got so far. So I'm going to save this and then open it up again. This is for the reason that I'm using a prototype app for our next release, and I've been told by the developer to do that every now and then, so you don't have to do that. So from my paintings is where everything goes. So I'm going to take as a rule of thumb, always, if you use a brush size quite big, just take it down half what it was before, and let's see if we can capture there. That's a pretty decent size, isn't it? So that's what I'm going to do. Use that brush size to mark down these lovely fingers. And see these colors I'm picking? Now I've got more details. People are looking for too many shortcuts these days. But believe me, when you do that, you are losing out on the fun of the whole process. You see the tones that are happening. So with this brush, I'm laying down some of the contrasting tones I see there. See, these are the lines that I was showing you last time. I'm going to leave the bangles out because they're a smaller brush. Right here. And then change it. So change up the tones, otherwise you're going to be using the same tone for a thing, for flesh tones, and we know flesh tones vary significantly. Okay, so we're just going bit by bit to pick up all these variation of tones. So what he had to do was to get these tones, he needed to mix the colors. We don't. We're lucky we don't have to mix the colors. We can get the colors from the color picker. So when you're doing freehand, obviously you can't. But that's the beauty of it, is that when you practice like this enough times, you're picking out, you're really expanding, and your sense of picking out tones becomes much sharper. That's the reason why I showed you those photorealistic drawings. I can do it with relative ease because I have a good knowledge of tones, having done drawing in this way. And so you'll be able to pick up your own tones when in freehand using this palette. It's a wonderful palette. So if you're in the blue tone, like doing a landscape, you have all these variations of tones. It's on the same. It's a good reason why Paintology is designed that way. Remember, Paintology is designed by an artist, but I'm also a technologist. I've had no formal training in art, but I just enjoy art. And couple the two together and you've got Paintology. See how I'm pairing the tones, and there's such lovely different tones that are happening. Can you see it? All over here. So just go pick the color brush. I did that with Klimt. Just picked it and just picked whatever color came up and just scribbled it. That's really in essence what most of the artwork that you see in museums will be like, you know. You get close up to the painting, you'll see that it's a mishmash of colors, just like the way I'm doing it here. So no tools, I haven't even ventured into tools, just using that. You can do it really quickly and get in no time, yeah? So that's what we're doing. We're spending the 50 minutes or so in this part one session to do this, yeah? And then part two will refine it even more on this painting, and then it's going to look a little bit like the gas, and people will think, you know, just like I did with the Klimt, the Kiss, people will think it looks like the original, isn't it? But once they get a close up, they're going to see something different. So I hope that lady who's said that this was the best photo editing really understands the process I use to paint. I hope she gets a chance to, and then change her review, change a comment on what this is all about. It's about drawing, the pleasure of drawing and painting. It's not an image manipulation tool. If you want to do that, there's plenty around. Take the shortcut, there's plenty. In fact, even the paint by numbers that Paintology has, you have to paint it, paint the numbers, not click on it. Like some apps allow you to do, just simply click on it and the number appears. And where are you going to learn skills that way, drawing skills? See, I've picked the brush again. It's a smaller brush size, so I'm able to get to the details. So I can pick out the blush down there. So with this face, I'm going to end on this face. I'm going to take it down again, half of that, right? And then really get to the real details. Look at this, beautiful. Even that brush doesn't do justice. I'm going to go even more tiny with the face here. I'm going to pick the colors. Pick the colors that are happening there. Very small scale, meaning I'm going to capture a lot of the details of the face. This high resolution, look at that, 1000 magnification. So we're going to get really close to this. The real flesh tones is happening. Just look at the tiny brush we have. So we know we're going to get exactly capture the tones that are happening at such a small level. High magnification. And so we can get the face more to what the guest wanted it. So just keep in mind, this is designed to teach you skills in art. Even though it looks very easy, you still have to do the work in creating the tones like I'm doing here. Color picker, and color picker, color picker, color picker, even the microscopic tonal changes happening on her face. We're just trying to capture most of it, and then we'll get to the next stage of really cleaning it up, bringing it into life. So bringing it back. This is where we drew the lines, but now we've got using the tones to separate those cheeks. Yeah, we can do that. And it'll come and you'll see that works. This is very small brush. Look at the size of that brush. And then there, and her eyes. Color picker. And then she's got that nose. Alright, we're almost done. There's Okay, I think we've done the face with our tonal. Let's see what it looks like. So we can go back and we can still carry on and do some of the areas that we may not have touched. Alright. Now can you see areas that we may not have touched? You know, all these little pixelations that we haven't done. And you'll see here how this can look here. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? That shows a face, but it's not quite there. And then we can put, since we got a couple of more minutes, I'm gonna use that to put down some of these flowery tones. So this would be our first completed painting of the famous star by Edgar Degas. This very small brush. Can you see how relatively small it is? There. All right. So, and then we can probably just pick up the brush and finish our first stage of the drawing. Just follow those important, these colors. See these colors? Even yellow here. There. So this is our first Edgar Degas stage 1 of our drawing, but we know then not anywhere near to finish, of course. And then I'm going to show you how. Let's fill this in as well. See that gap? It's part of the drawing process that allows you to carry on and on with the same canvas without having to use digital layers like most people rush to, and just complete the drawing here. And then that's what we'll do in the next step. So we'll have about I think 6-7 minutes break, and then hopefully I'll see you in the next part of this drawing, part 2, which you can find on paintology.com. I'll show you. Paintology.com here on this page, from the home page, on the pink button here, and then you'll see part 2 coming up here. You can also find it in the YouTube description, part 2, so that will start in a few minutes. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in part 2, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.